I'm going to give you from a realtor's point of view. I've actually been going to Florida Realtors since 1984 and have not missed a single meeting. So they're a wonderful participation opportunity. Probably one of the biggest benefits is you get to be at the front line of helping your state association make decisions that impact your industry, your state association, and your local association. Part of that response is the meetings. And when I say meetings, I don't mean just the board of directors or just the District 4, which we are, District 4 meeting. One of the requirements that we have when you become a director from Miami is that you attend a minimum of 2 committee meetings, subcommittee meetings, or forum meetings. And there's a reason for that. We want to make sure that we're a very big organization, to say the least. And we want to make sure that we are represented in all the different meetings. And it is extremely important that you hear from the rest of the state, and the rest of the state gets to hear from you. That you cannot attend are the ones that are marked closed meetings, and those are very, very few. So here's some of my suggestions, and I wasn't prepared with anything. I literally 30 seconds before I hopped on here got off another call. One of the best ways to figure out, well, the question I get the most is, how do I figure out what committee meetings to go to? I'm going to tell you from my own experience, find out what committee meetings are available, and you can go to floridarealtors.org, and under governance, you can see a full list of every committee, subcommittee, forum with a full description of what their responsibilities are and what they entail. Figure out where your passion lies in the real estate business, and then that makes it a very easy decision. Because if you're like me, the things that I'm passionate about, that's not work. That's something I really enjoy doing, and you'll be able to give great input. You'll get energized when you're in those meetings. And quite literally, when I first started in the business and I went to some of the meetings, I would have rather had a root canal than sit in some of those meetings any longer than I had to. And that's the truth. And what's so nice about it is you can walk into any of these meetings. If you're not a committee member, you don't sit at the main table where all the nameplates are, but you sit in the back and the side of the room. And you'll know within the first 15 to 20 minutes if this is something that you're interested in. And if you find yourself leaning forward and trying to get more information, they've got you. And you want to make sure that you understand what the time commitments are with that group. Some of them are very intense, like a work group for a specific item. Others are very intense when it comes to just the 2 meetings a year. And some of them, and you'll find all this in the committee description, and some of them do all their work remotely the entire year. And it's done even before Zoom, conference calls and things like that. And it's just, you decide where your passion lies and what you want to participate in. Okay, I know I'm rambling a little bit.
Can I add something, Deborah?
Sure.
Yes.
So for all of you, it really is something to consider, because this is, the Florida Realtors is the voice for the largest trade organization in the state, right? We currently represent about 195,000 realtors in over 52 local associations. So you are voting on, and by the way, it's 2 mandatory meetings, one in January, one in August. You have to be there to be able to vote. We're voting on amendments. We're voting on new officers. So secretary, there's just a bunch of different candidates that are there.
And budgets,
And
very important.
Yep. So you're making big decisions for all Florida realtors. And at some point you get more involved and you start making national decisions. But just to touch on some of the committees that you're able to partake in, I will tell you that last year we decided to partner up with some of the veteran YPNers and some of the new ones to say, these are the meetings that we must attend because we're committee members. You're more than welcome to attend. And so you won't be on your own. You'll have a group of agents that is going to be there to leverage their wisdom, their knowledge. It is a lot of fun, but it's also a lot of work. And the goal here is that when you come back to Miami, that you distribute that information, not just to your brokers, but also to the agents that you come across, because we're trying to make sure that we level up, right? We increase the level of professionalism within our industry, which we all know has a major opportunity. So I would definitely say become a state director if you can commit to attending the 2 meetings in January and August. And if this is something you're passionate about, I will also say get involved and become an RPAC major investor, because you will get money money will be reimbursed to you for attending these meetings up to $1,000. So that's just my shameless plug. And I'm hoping that based off of what Deborah and myself have just told you, you have a little bit more of an understanding of what a state director is. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to let us know, because you will be lost a little bit on your first go around. But I'll tell you that it's the most important place to be, to leverage connections with other realtors from across the state who are going to send you business if you know how to purposely network with those agents. So don't ever leave, the hotel or the premises. Stay on board, because the true magic happens after hours. So when the meetings are over and you're at the bars, that's when you're going to start making those connections really stick and make them more powerful. So hopefully that helps clarify some of it as well.
I think one of the other things that will take just a small amount of your time, but it's a commitment that you already give to YPN, and it's to go prepared for the meeting. Just like Kevin sends you out the agenda and the attachment,
and let me
so that you're fully versed
the
on
two
what's going to
talking
be
about
covered.
January.
You get the same thing from Florida Realtors. In advance, they will send you the agenda. They will send you everything that you need to know, but it really is important that you're fully versed before you get there, because you're, like Peter said, you're going to be voting on some things that are extremely important to our industry, our state organization, and our local association. And the better informed you are, the better your capability of voting in the right direction for the association. The District 4 meeting that we have on the day before the Board of Directors, we do review all the upcoming things that are going to be needed to vote on at the Board of Directors. So it is also another chance for you to ask questions and feel a little bit more comfortable. Miami is very blessed in that we have a lot of current and past leaders of Florida Realtors that are our members still, and they are still involved, and they come to the District 4 meeting, and they're there to answer any questions and maybe give you more insight into some of the things that will be voted on. Let's see what else. Major investor. You may want to start out at a smaller level and then start building up. I will tell you, when I first started in real estate, the thought of investing $1,000 when my average, don't laugh at this, but my average um, commission check was about $1,200, and to give up $1,000 as I thought about it, it really is an investment in your industry and in your business. And the Political Action Committee really protects our industry. And the greatest example is through this pandemic. We fought so that our industry could be declared an essential industry and we could continue to work and make a living through the pandemic, compared to some states that realtors and real estate agents couldn't do their job because they were not deemed essential businesses. So something like that kept us all working and earning a living is extremely important. And it is, you look at it as an investment. A lot of you are going out tomorrow for the honk and wave, to hopefully, and I know we will, get Ana Maria Rodriguez elected. But representatives like her from our industry that believe in private property rights and the rights of realtors and real estate professionals to do their job are really important to our industry. And that's something else that our PAC and especially the Miami PAC allows us to do, is invest in them and their support of us, and we show the support that we have for them. Kevin, what else?
That was fantastic. The one thing that I want to talk about, and this is one of my favorite things about being a major investor, is when you do travel to either Orlando or nationally as well, there are events that are designated for our major investors, and you do get to go to some pretty amazing places. My favorite is the aircraft carrier in San Francisco. Deborah, do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I think it was the aircraft carrier in San Diego, was phenomenal. And then the major investor event that was done at the Smithsonian was absolutely beyond incredible. Just really exceptional events, as a nice way to say thank you for your RPAC investment. They are very, very nice.
I'm quite jealous about the Smithsonian. I do hope I get that opportunity at some point.
It was incredible. Oh, and there was another event that I will, now I'm going to share this with all the ladies here. Harry Connick Jr. is like one of my favorite performers, and he did a very special fundraising event, and the major investors, based on your level of investment, we were seated at a very private concert. And I actually had the front row and the aisle seat right in front of Harry Connick Jr. as he performed and also danced on stage. So for me, that was worth my entire investment, just to be able to sit there.
Right. And I think the best part about it, Deborah, is you also probably got something for putting the money down in some part of the auction. So you not only do you buy yourself something or somebody else something, you get all these amazing experiences. You get reimbursement for travel, which if you become a state director, it makes sense that you would put yourself in a position to get reimbursed. So I think it's just all of those things kind of tied together, is probably the best package that you could do for yourself if you want to become involved at the state level and get that state directorship.
And we have lots of opportunities for you to invest. And one of the best ones is our 2 times a year auction. And rather than like for 20 plus years, I wrote a check each year for the entire amount. We actually give you credit toward your investment pledge for the items that you purchase at auction from either Miami or Florida Realtors at the 2 auctions. So, and that's what we use to base your reimbursement on.
So what your schedule will kind of look like if you do sign up to be a state director is you will go to the midwinter meetings in January in Orlando. You will,
This year they're going to be virtual. They
oh, it is
announced
virtual
yesterday
again.
they are virtual.
No, darn it. I think I did read something about that. Thanks for the
They
clarification.
sent the email yesterday
Yeah.
confirming that it would be virtual.
Yeah,
Well-
I'm still sequestered here in Orlando with my family. And I will tell you, there you go down International Drive where the convention center and the hotels are. And I grew up here. I actually went to high school here. I taught high school here. And so my whole history was in Orlando before Disney even. And any of you that have been to Orlando and seen that huge convention center, I drove down the other day, the entire International Drive. There were 3 people going in one direction and 4 people going in the other direction. And that was all. So there is still a lot of other things happening here, but it's slowly opening up. But Florida Realtors said that there were a lot of health concern issues, and that's why they decided to go with the virtual event again. And two, their participation numbers just skyrocketed when they made it available to everyone.
And can I
Yeah,
just
understood.
one thing? We're talking about 2 different things, right? So if you are going to be a Florida state director, there's no financial requirement from you. However, we're suggesting that if you're going to be a Florida state director, that you consider becoming an RPAC major investor, because you are getting money from your travels to Orlando when we actually start to travel. And besides some of the events that both Kevin and Deborah have talked about, if you're really into politics, you will get invited to either a Republican or a Democrat, wherever you choose to go, to sit with some of these elected officials at some of these really nice galas. You get some great clothing, you get some great marketing materials for special for those who are RPAC major investors. They've shut down, what was a place in Orlando that they shut down for all of the RPAC?
Mario Andretti.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we
That
had
was a great event.
the
Yeah.
entire place shut down for us, open bar, unlimited food and snacks and all that stuff. So the $1,000 that you end up investing in this business, you end up getting back 10 times. And so I would say if you're thinking about doing it, definitely do it, because you don't want to be the person that gets left out when everyone else is jumping on buses to go to these private events that only RPAC major investors are invited to. So just want to make sure that you understand there's 2 different things we're talking about: Florida State Director, no financial requirements, and then the state RPAC investor, excuse me. So
Thank you, Peter. That was a great
Yeah.
interjection for sure. So your day would look like, I guess, for this virtual one, you get to stay home. You'll be a state director. If you want to be a state director, it'll be free, which means that you would just have to block the time for the boat and whatever committees that you want to participate in. I think other than that, how many hours do you think it would require, Deborah, just for midwinter? Do you think it would be 6 hour?
I would say 2, 4, 5, 6, probably closer to 7 hours.
So that's not that much of a commitment if you spread that
No.
out. between a few
And
days.
that's over the time frame of the meetings.
Yeah.
And I'm basing that on 2 committee or subcommittee meetings, the District 4 meeting, and then the Board of Directors. Now, we've gotten out of Board of Directors in as little as under an hour. And when there's some heated voting, 2 hours. So that's why I gave the maximum time that you would be looking at.
That's great. That's perfect. So it's really kind of worth it, and it's easier than ever this year because travel isn't required for now. But just realize that if we do go back to a in-person format, I don't know if they'll have that virtual voting component or not for from here on out. So you might have to go there and vote, but it's worth the travel. There's a lot of great things. You get to meet a lot of great people. All in all, it's really what you want just to put into your experience as a Miami YPN member and beyond with Florida Realtors as well. So we highly recommend it. If you want to get the most out of it, we will do everything we can for you so that you do get the most out of it. So
I do. Kevin, can I clarify
Absolutely.
one thing? The meetings in January, we refer to them as midwinter business meetings. They are truly governance meetings, committee meetings, and the like. And then in August, we have two separate events. One is the governance meetings, and the other one is the convention and expo. So, and then before the convention, we also have the RE Bar Camp, which is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal at Florida Realtors. So there are two separate events in August, and they're back to back, and it's absolutely incredible. And the trade show is phenomenal. The expo is really great to look at new products and services and to test drive things, services up there. So it is a very incredible opportunity. If you can squeeze it into your schedules, don't miss the opportunity to take advantage of this. As Peter said, one of the big pluses that I always found was the networking and building relationships with people around the state of Florida.
I'll
it
third
helps
that.
your business.
I'll third that. I have some very fond memories from my experiences traveling to Orlando, both midwinter and the convention and governance. Both are incredible experiences that you get to have every year. And so it just really depends like how you want to invest your money and time at those meetings. And we will give you as many options as possible to fit your needs. Does anybody have any questions for us before we adjourn? I think all the information that we needed to clarify has been disseminated.
I would like to say that if you're not currently on a committee, don't worry about it. The committee process for 2022 opens up on March 1st of 2021. We will give you ample advance notice, and you can sign up for possible appointments to committees. And what a great opportunity to go around at the January meetings and find out which committees really interest you. And then you'll be able to put in your application for those committees. So it is a great kind of put your toe in the water and find out what you really would be interested in serving on.
That's exactly what I did. And for 2021, I'll be on 3 committees. So
Fantastic.
thank you. If you guys have any questions about, just ask me. The first year on the board, I basically went around to like 4 or 5 committee meetings, and I picked 2 that I really liked. And then that's what I did this year, which was YPN and communications. And next year I'll be doing YPN communications and diversity breakout group, part of the legislative think tank. But there's a bunch. And I'll gladly give my input on the ones that I'm a part of. And I know Peter is a part of a couple other committees. I know Jeff just ask us. We've been on a couple different committees, and going into next year as well, we're already on some of those committees. So I would definitely suggest just attending the meetings, even if you're just listening. And if you're interested, when it's time to sign up, and apply. All right.
We're on the same committees this year, Chandra.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're both on communications and YPN.
We didn't even do that on purpose.
If you walk,
Probably the best way to capitalize on the meetings.
if you walk out with just one referral from Orlando, it's not only going to cover both January and August, but it will give you additional money in your pocketbook. So I highly recommend that you do it. I know it's a lot. Joining the YPN board and then talking about applying to be a state director and RPAC major investor. But as Chandra and Bethany said, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask away. The WhatsApp chat is going to become your new best friend, where you have questions, you'll ask, and someone will jump in and answer that question for you.
All I'll say is it is definitely worth it. I was nervous at first, but the experience is amazing, and the relationships built, not only with the referrals, like everyone is saying, but even amongst us in the group. And I think that it allows for us to collaborate a lot better, even in Miami, because we just become tight. It's like a little family, not just us YPN, but meeting everyone else. It's definitely an experience, and it definitely grows our bond for sure.
It definitely takes us out of the everyday element here where we're busy and we're working and we're allowed to just spend a day or two and focus on each other and the plans that we have for the board. Because, it's hard to connect while we're here just in our work mode. So it's 2 times a year where it forces us to like regroup, connect, get to know each other on a deeper level. And it's like Chandra said, it's changed my whole viewpoint on how I view the association, the board, Florida Realtors. Like if not for those trips and those relationships and that time spent building relationships, this board would be so different to me. It wouldn't have been the same. So the fact that you guys have the opportunity to get it on day 1 when some people didn't figure it out until year 2 or 3, it'll just set the tone for the rest of your journey on the YPN board for sure.
Okay, we do have a deadline that's fast approaching to apply
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. If you need the link to the application form, Kevin can send it to you. I'm happy to send it to you. Just shoot me an email and we'll send it out again. But we do need those by tomorrow because we're getting ready to do our leadership magazine at Miami. And also Florida Realtors is getting ready to do their leadership resource guide. And they will need the names of the directors from Miami for Florida Realtors. And we want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to have their names submitted and be a resource in that guide.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions and you want to talk to us about anything else, you can just tell us, call us, talk about it in the chat. But we're going to try to make some calls to the rest of the board too, who weren't able to be on this call, just so we can make sure everybody has the opportunity. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Deborah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
coming
Kevin.
on.
Kevin, can you send me that link?
I saw baby Paula just go by the screen very quickly.
I know, I'm sorry. She started asking for food. So like, here, let me prepare the food. But yeah, thank you.
Congratulations again.
Thank you so much. And guys, this is going to be a lot of fun. It's super exciting. I second everything that everyone has said. And Bethany and I, since the moment that we met in real estate, carrying backpacks to where we are now, it truly solidifies your relationships. And whenever there's a major issue, you get an opportunity to connect with a lot of the top brokers. 20% are generating 80% of the business, even in Miami with 52,000 plus members. You want to be able to be in relationship with these people because when things hit the fan, you definitely want to leverage the relationships that you've built over the course of your tenure with YPN, the Miami Association of Realtors. And to say the least, every single agent that is with our association will get a magazine every single year with your photography, your contact information. If you're a major investor, you get credit for it. So I know that it goes out to more than 52,000 agents. So why not just claim your fame that way as well, right? So that people know that you are truly in this for all the right reasons. And prepare yourself because people will also be asking you, how do we report this? What are these issues? You might not know all the answers, but you'll have the rest of the group to say, hey, how do we report this? And how do we overcome these challenges? You have a great network of friends that work for different brokerages, but all have the same vision. which is to make this industry much better. So kudos, good luck. And I think Kevin's going to be resending out all the information. If not, reach out to Bethany and Chandra. They'll be more than happy to get it over to you. And again, congratulations.